Hi, my name is James Phillippi. This is my informative speech for CMST 192. Here are my note cards. This is note card number 1, note card number 2, note card number 3, note card number 4, and note card number 5. Here's the audience. Did you know that gasoline was originally just a byproduct of kerosene production, and as such it was thrown away and poured into rivers? Today I'm going to talk to you about resource classification. In order for a resource to be classified as a resource, it must meet 3 criteria. 1, that technology is available to utilize the resource. 2, that it's economically viable to utilize the resource. And 3, that cultural values do not conflict with the use of the resource. First, let's talk about technology. As Edward Bergman and William Renwick describe in their 2004 book, Introduction to Geography, there must be a way to technologically employ a resource. A good example of this is gasoline. As I said before, gasoline was originally just a byproduct of kerosene production. However, as David Goodstein describes in his 2004 book, Out of Gas, in 1861, a German inventor named Nicholas Otto decided to utilize this waste, called gasoline, and he created the first internal combustion engine. Now, of course, internal combustion engines are used in every car today. And so now, of course, gasoline is used at much higher rates than kerosene across the globe. Next, let's talk about economic viability. Once again, as Edward Bergman and William Renwick tell us in their 2004 book, Introduction to Geography, companies producing a resource must make a profit at current rates with current technology. A good example of this is oil shale. As time goes by, the world's easy-to-get-at oil has been tapped. So this means that there's a decreasing supply of oil around the world, and increasing demand as time goes on. This means that overall we get an increased price in oil. As Nick Snow tells us in his September 5th, 2011 article in the Oils and Gas Journal, the U.S. currently holds 75% of recoverable oil shale in the world, but development has been hindered by booms and busts in the economy. So this means that companies now can extract oil from the oil shale even though it costs much more money than usual, and still, due to the increased price, they can still gain a profit from the oil that they sell. So finally, let's talk about cultural acceptability. Once again, Edward Bergman and William Renwick tell us in their 2004 book, Introduction to Geography, the use of a material or a technology to utilize it must be accepted in a society in order for it to become a resource. A great example of this is uranium. For most of human history, uranium was useless. That is until World War II, when a great American sentiment to defeat Nazi Germany caused the Americans to create the atomic bomb. Now, after the war, uranium was once again utilized to create electrical power through nuclear power plants. However, due to incidents such as 3 Mile Island, and even though there was only 1 death, according to Nikki Smith in her June 22, 2007 article in the Financial Mail magazine, even though there was only one death, it still created huge amounts of anxiety and fear when it came to nuclear power. However, in recent years, due to the movement to go green, there has been renewed interest in nuclear power. And as such, because nuclear power does not pollute the air like conventional coal and other resources. However, once again, after incidents such as the one that happened in Japan, according to Zulema Palacio in her April 6, 2011 article in Voices of American News, even though incidents like Japan have happened, nuclear development will move forward. However, it will be slower for the next 2 to 3 years. So now you can see what goes into resource classification. So in conclusion, though factors may change over time, There are always three requirements that go into classifying a resource. One, that technology exists to use the resource. Two, that it's economically viable to use the resource. And three, that cultural values do not clash with the use of the resource. Now I hope you will be able to understand why certain materials are or are not used as resources as you go about in your daily lives. Thank you. And pan to the audience once more.
Very good.
And that's it.
I stopped it when you said